let's get into it. All right. So, who is going to be the last stone? Move all my stones out of here. Listen. If I don't find a stone, then at this point, it's about to be Ganesh. All right. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's see. Let's move this a little bit. I'm gonna have to just pull this out and put it in here. That's what we just about to do because there. That just makes life easier. All right. So these are your 3 piles. You have this stone, which I believe is, I want to say it could be a labradorite or it could be a lapis lazuli, but it might be a labradorite. I don't be knowing. I can't remember, but it's made by Diary of Your Dreams. If you guys like her copper work, it is very, very dope and unique. And all my pendants that I wear, it's made by her. This one, I just love her wiring. And her Instagram is DYE of Your Dreams, Die of Your Dreams. So you guys should check her out and let her know that I sent y'all. But I told her I was going to be using her pendant as my pile marker. So, you know. Anyway, so we have that stone, and then we have Ganesh, and then we have red jasper, which I love red jasper in a good Jezebel oil. So just, you know, some of y'all, if y'all want people to be doing things for y'all in favors, when y'all have your oils, put some red jasper in there. But y'all ain't hear it from me. You did. You heard it from me. Anyway, don't listen to me. I don't care. You don't gotta listen to me. You can do what you want to do. I don't care. All right. But what we are about to do is get into these 3 piles. I done smudged my damn makeup up. I looked cute earlier. Okay. This is like a Taco Tuesday later. Okay. I had a whole Taco Tuesday. There was margaritas. I'm surprised I'm still, you know, functioning. So we're going to go ahead and get into what makes people fall in love with you. What makes people fall in love with you? We're giving love today. We're giving rose quartz, the aura. Okay. It's very not my other side because you guys know I'm like Persephone. I have my Wednesday Addams side. And then I really don't know what this side is. I really don't. I mean, it's giving spring. I like spring. So, whatever. So, let's see why people be loving y'all. Why they be all in love with y'all. So we have people get built different. We don't need to figure it out. We just need to respect it. Accepting others as individuals, respecting the differences in others, that comes from their own experiences in life. See, that's interesting that I just talked about Persephone, and I was giving like, you know, the spring and the you know, the queen of hell type of energy, the differences in people, and like the fact that you don't really understand them, but you respect it. So for you, Pile 1, you are like Some of you have a really big thing of duality within you where you have like maybe this goody two shoes personification, maybe when you have to work, but then you turn up on the weekends. I don't know. Some of you guys might be an accountant by day, a stripper by night. I don't know what y'all be doing in y'all spare time. Nobody knows really what y'all following. And that's what they love. They never know what they're going to get with you. But that's what makes you so good at respecting other people's differences, because you're like, who am I to say that when I do this? Or when I would do this if I could do this, or da 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 da, I sure would. So you're very eccentric. Also, there's an enigma type of energy to you where you fit in with lots of groups of different people. You fit in with a lot of groups of different people, and you don't judge people. So that's another thing. You're very embracing of other people, other cultures, people who are different from you. So you guys probably could hang out with all the cliques in high school. You probably have friends in different friend groups, the popular children, the band, you know, the math people. You had probably somebody that you were friends with from every group, or you could connect with each of these groups in your own way, okay? So yeah, we have Eros, which is giving very Venetian. Eros is like a very sexual energy. It's not as sexual to me as like a Lilith or like a Hades asteroid, but it's definitely giving charisma. Like I'm getting Marilyn Monroe, like that. And it's funny, I was talking about Jezebel energy. I don't want to say you guys are Jezebels, but some people might assume you are, or you know, utilize your beauty or your charisma to get what you want. So that could be why people fall in love with you too. Yeah, because there's a snake on this card. So there could be some Lilith energy. Some of you guys might have like, or this like an octopus, but it looked like a snake. But that's also what I'm getting, like different parts of you. Different parts of you. Some of you guys like horror films or like old films. Some of you guys like old horror films. I'm hearing Rocky Horror Picture Show. So some of you guys might like that. Giving Tim Curry. You have Lady Luck from the the Hip Hop Queens Oracle deck. So yeah, and even here she's more like, you know, what they would call what is it, like she's that, like when I was growing up they would call it a tomboy, but now it's like a totally different thing. She's presenting like in a t-shirt, in a hat, like, so it's like, yeah, like some of you guys could be non-binary or something like that, you know. There's something about you that gives that duality. So whether you identify like this or not, it feels like with men, if you're a woman, there is an energy of maybe forgetting that you're one of the girls. Like they might start to see, like, feel like they're with their male friends if they're around you, like one of the guys, which can be a good thing or a negative thing. Because a lot of times when guys see you like that, it's hard for them to give you that same like kind of relationship respect. But then you have some guys who love that. Like they would love to have somebody that they could, you know, hang with on that type of level. So it really just depends. But there's definitely something about you attracting all types of people. And there's definitely something here about you being different, or like duality, but also having this very strong feminine charisma. So we have the Ace of Swords. I feel like you're definitely an excellent communicator. So you're very good with communicating, speaking your truth. Some of you guys might be rappers, okay, or writers in this pile. Your creative skills, your mental capacity is also what makes people fall in love with you. Yeah, the Star. I'm getting like big Aquarian vibes. Like I'm getting Tina Snow, like Meg the Stallion. Because Meg is very feminine, but she also has that like, you know, you know, what people would say is more masculine type of approach. So like rapper, very Aquarian. So you say what's on your mind. I feel like this pile says what's on your mind. Some of you guys might be life path ones or something like that. Or you're born on the first day of the month. Or you're born on a Sunday or something. There's definitely something very like first Aquarian. It reminds me like of Rihanna, because Rihanna gonna say what she want to say. You're always the first one to step out there too. Some of you guys might be in the public eye. You could be YouTubers, or people see you as somebody who would be good in public, in a public place. Like some of y'all almost said public office. So some of you guys have like that politician vibe to you. People would love to hear you communicate, or you maybe take up causes like this. You're definitely like the type, if a man wanted a fiery woman, or like or somebody wanted somebody to thank you, somebody wants somebody to speak up for them. Like, let's say I didn't want mashed potatoes, I ordered asparagus. You're going to be the person like, hey, they didn't order. You'll probably say it before they will, which, I mean, could be annoying sometimes, but that's not what you ordered. Or, you know, they might get to know you and like, know, okay, because you're very smart. So you'll probably wait and see if that person says anything about it, but you'll also kind of speak up. It's like an energy. My sister's like this for me. Like my sister's like this for me. She's very much like, it's a protective energy. It can kind of get you in trouble at times, and people are like, oh, she always got to be the one to say something. But that's who you are, authentically. And this is what makes people fall in love with you. So they may learn to like dislike it at sometimes. The things that makes you fall in love with somebody could eventually be the thing that turns against you. Like, damn, she always gotta speak her mind. I used to love that shit about her when I seen her do it to other people, but now she do that shit to me. So it's like, oh well, I'm still gonna do it. Cry me a river, you know, something like that. But this is what makes people love you. Yeah. There's a lot of communication cards. I'd be surprised if y'all aren't air signs, whether this is in your Western or sidereal. Some of y'all might be Pisces, Cancers, Scorpios, the Februarys, the Novembers, okay, the Julys, the late Junes, very great communicators. And you guys also are formidable in the arena of communication. Okay, so some of you guys might be lawyers, or you would make great lawyers. People feel like you're very good at your arguments because you're quick-witted, but then you're also precise. Like, you could be somebody that curses, but people wouldn't even mind it. It's not brash. It like flows into the conversation. There's something about your communication skills that makes people fall in love with you. So some of you guys maybe need to take that in consideration, that you have powerful speaking abilities, and actually do something with it. Knight of Wands. So some of you guys like to stay active. That could be another reason why people fall in love with you too, because you're very, you got the 2 fastest moving knights. So some of you guys could be born the horse years, 78, 62. No, 62 is tiger. What is the one before 78? 66. Yeah, 66, 78, 90, 2002. But I feel like some of you guys have a very youthful disposition, very wise. It's very blunt, like a child. It's just like indigo energy. Like, it feels like indigo children. Like, indigos, we don't give a fuck. Like, if you're a true indigo, you don't think about what people say about you. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. It's like, indigos, we don't care. Like, I know, like, I used to care a little bit, but the older I get, because honestly, I feel like the older I get, the more immature I get, because I literally just don't care. You know how children just don't care? Like, that's just kind of like the energy. And it feels like the more older you get, which you notice that. Like, I was watching P-Valley the other day. I was getting my hair done. And Ernestine, which I've had so many people tell me I favor Loretta Devine. So every time I see her, obviously, I've been hearing that since I was a child. I had an older relative tell me that one time. And I had no idea who that was at the time. I was young. And then some people have said it here and there. So anytime I see Loretta on the screen, I pay attention, because she's big August gang, of course. And I love her acting. And she does kind of remind me of myself in a lot of ways, like especially how goofy she is. And, you know, she's older in that, you know, and she's blind, I believe. She's going blind, or she's blind. And she just doesn't give a fuck what she says. Like, she does not care. Like, she don't give a fuck. Like, she's just very, like, what you gonna do? I'm old and blind. I'm gonna say what's on my mind. Like, that's kind of how y'all are. And this is a youthful thing that people love about you. And I'm also getting, like, what's her name from Stranger Things? Robin, I think, is who she plays. I think her name is Robin, Ethan Hawke's daughter. Maya Hawke, she plays Robin. I think her name is Robin, and she talks really fast. Like she talks a mile a minute. So there's something about that. Like some of y'all might literally be ADHD, okay? But people love this about you. Yeah, yeah. You guys come into. I just heard "Wrecking Ball" by Miley Cyrus. I came in like a wrecking ball. Like y'all are that person that's gonna say what everybody else is fucking thinking. Like, period. This feel like my pile. It ain't my pile, but it feel like it might be. I don't know. But it feels like my pile because like y'all are gonna say, so y'all didn't see that. Like, you know, if you everybody in the room act like they didn't see something, you like, hold on, so y'all didn't see that. I'm the only one to see that. Y'all gonna be that person. Y'all are that person. Like, and this is, you guys should be motivational speakers or life coaches in this pile, because you guys hit people with that sort of truth like they ain't even ready for it. It's like Thanos. Like, boom. You hear 1 minute, now you go. Part one, I don't know who y'all out there, but I fucks with you heavy because I love brutally honest energy. Y'all might hurt some feelings out there, but y'all are honest. Great debaters come to my mind too. So y'all would be impeccable lawyers, upholding the truth and law. Like y'all be that type of person that finds that black law dictionary like deep in some library and bring out some law that people ain't heard of in 60 years and nail the shit. And they could be like, damn, you're like that type of person. Or a social justice warrior or something like you, but not in a bad way. Like y'all about that life. Some of y'all are gonna be destined for fame or being known, whether you want to accept this or not. Could be for music or your communication abilities. People see this in you, whether you see it in yourself or not. Yeah, you guys seem always busy. You guys always seem like y'all got something to do. I heard 2 phones. I got 2 phones. I just heard that by Kevin Gates. Some of you guys are always on the go. You're always on the go. And people love that about you. You always seem like you got something to do. I'd be very surprised if this pal isn't already pursuing fame. If you're not already pursuing fame, you should definitely consider getting like a talent agent. Or if you're trying to be into a sport or something, make sure you stay physically active, or dancing, music. Yeah, you guys are warriors. Y'all speak from experience. This is a pile that speaks from experience. This is a pile that, again, there's something here about having a dark side or been through some shit so you can speak on it, and you speak on it. Like, yeah, y'all don't play with bullying either. Some of you guys may have been bullied. So that's another thing that gives me a level of resilience that other people don't have. I've been bullied a lot, so I have very, very tough skin. It takes a lot for you to get to me. You'd have to be somebody very, very important, or I just have to be emotional as it is already, and I just feel like I want to take it out on that person at the time. But I'm very impenetrable when it comes to, like, you know, feeling some type of way and all that. So some of you guys are like, you've been bullied, or you may have been through some sort of abusive situation that made you very resilient and also very like no bullshit. There's something no bullshit about you. Very no bullshit that people just love. Like, you're going to say it how it is. And that's what I resonate with this pile heavy, because that's when even my mama, she like, I call you because I know you're going to tell me the truth every time. They don't call me sometimes. So it's a negative, a good thing, because they like, I know Harley going to tell me. Yes, you know I am. And then I got people who love my readings because of that. And they come to me and they trust me because they know Harley going to tell me the truth. Or they send their family to me because they know Harley going to tell you the truth. So it's something about that. Like, you guys are respected. Your word is really respected. I'm hearing, I heard when Beyonce said, I don't do crosswords. So I can't remember what song that's in, but always keep, so I don't do crosswords. It's some song. I can't remember what it is. I want to say it's the one with Jay-Z, but yeah, so you're very resilient. Some of you guys, like, there's something about your physical upkeep. So if you're not active, get active, because there's something about when you're in a very great physical physique that really exemplifies your gifts. When you're constantly being active. Some of you guys really need to get into a sport or something that you used to do when you were younger. Dancing, whatever, pole dance, I don't care what it is. Something that gets you active. You need to know that. But other than that, that's what makes people attract to you, is your bluntness, your rawness, your realness, your star quality. Very Aquarian, Sagittarian vibes here. Sagittarius is very seductive. A lot of people, because the signs are all fucking screwed up. A lot of people see certain energies a certain way, but like, for me, true Sagittarius energy is like Elvis. Like, that is a true Sag. That is very seductive. It's like very strong, quality of pulling people towards you. So that's what I'm seeing in this pile, like a very strong star quality. And even like if we're still looking at the sidereal chart, like Rihanna, she's Aquarian vibes, like true Aquarius. So it's like magnetism. There's a strong magnetism, and like again, we never know what's gonna come out of this person's mouth. We don't know. And like you can see like where Rihanna don't, when she don't want to be bothered, when she don't want to, she'll say it. Like, move the fuck out my way. Like, she'll say it. Like, there's something about you that's very relatable. So this probably would do great with like podcasting too. Something about your voice makes people fall in love with you too. So people sing your praises a lot. People do say they either love or hate you. It's one or the other. People also say that you survived a lot, or like you have not necessarily luck. It may look like luck to the untrained eye, but most people will see it that you're protected. Very protected. So you are brave and you know you're protected. That's the worst thing. Like me, I know and I know it's like I take it for granted sometimes, but not really. Because it's like, what's the point in, like, if you know you got good protection, then what you worried about? Like, people like, I can't believe you went to New York by yourself. I can't believe you're walking down New Orleans. Why? Protected. Stay protected. Like, I've been doing photo shoots. I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff since I was young. Not saying that nothing was ever going to happen to me, but I've never had no situation where I felt scared or like I was going to be harmed, because I trust my intuition. If something don't feel right, I'm not going to do it. Like, my ancestors have never put me in a situation that I'd be very harmed. And I've been in some situations and I've met some very interesting people. And they're not all light, but I ain't never been harmed in that way, you know? So something about you feels like maybe you have been in situations where you feel like you were protected. So people kind of see that on you too. Like, there's a force behind you. Like, you take charge, you do things, because you're not worried about that repercussion. You feel protected. So, because, you know, certain confidence comes from feeling like you got protection. Like, you know, people who think they can fight, they gonna always try to pick fights, or they don't care if it go time. They really believe they can fight. They don't care if it goes to that level. But then you got, you know, certain people that not gonna pop off like that because they don't feel confident that they can close that deal. So they might be a little, but you know, sometimes people be writing, you know, checks that their ass can't cash. But in this situation, you're not that type of person. You're very formidable. Okay? So that's what I have for you, pile 1. That's why people fall in love with you. Really dope pile. I resonate with that pile a lot. Might be my pile 3 acting up. I ain't got time. Act up. You can get smacked up. Alright. So let's see what's going on with Ganesh. Pile 2. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Nose is itching, so y'all know what time it is. The spirits have arrived. Alright, so what's up, Ganesh? The cross, tradition, conformity, upholding religious values, learned ways of thinking, a need to carve your own path, a break from tradition. Dreezy. Oh shit, my bitch Dreezy in this deck. I ain't know my bitch Dreezy was up in this deck. Say less, yo. Big Dreez. If y'all know about Big Dreez, then you ain't a rap. You ain't really in the women rap. Okay, period. Big Dreez. I didn't know Dreezy was in this joint, yo. That shit is dope. I think I'm probably the most hyped to see that Dreezy's in this deck than any other rapper. And I've been kind of like surprised and tickled when I seen some of these, but I think Dreezy just made me smile the hardest. I think I love this deck now and I have to use it more. That, y'all know, if you ain't heard Dreezy, you don't really respect female rap. So please don't even talk about it, because if Dreez ain't in your top or in your rotation right now, I don't know what to tell you. You probably listen to that dumb shit. Because Big Dreez. That's all I'm going to say. So I already love this pile. Period. If you know, you know. Okay, period. This is the Hip Hop Queens deck or some shit. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but somebody gifted it to me actually. And I'm really, really happy that she deserves to be in this deck, period. There's a lot of cool other ones in there, but that definitely made my night just now, because I fucks with Dreez heavy. And I feel like she needs to get more recognition. I'm glad that Amaretta is starting to, but Dreezy needs to be up next. So she, I I love her song on the Brent Revenge of the Dreamers. She killed that fucking shit. But anyway, so there's something about you. What I was getting, because Dreezy is, as far as I know, doing things like more of an independent way. Like, she might be under a label. I'm not saying she's not, so don't quote me on it. But she is definitely somebody who doesn't have like a big major machine behind her yet. She reminds me of more of like a Lotto. How Lotto came up. Lotto was very, in a lot of ways, self-made. Of course, she's getting more into commercial now, but there's a lot of these rappers who, even Cardi was more of an indie artist, you know. So Dreezy is kind of going that route as well. I don't, like I said, she might be on a label, I don't know, but a lot of people are coming into the rap game like that. And Dreezy, with this cross card, makes me think of the fact that she's very non-traditional in a lot of ways. She is more sexual now, but Dreezy actually isn't one of those like super sexual rappers. Like, her pen actually is her strongest point. So I'm saying that to say that she's not your average traditional, like, he eats my pussy every 5 minutes type of rapper. She might say a little sexual thing here and there, but it's more her skills that sets her apart. So, like I said, she was on Revenge of the Dreamers. I mean, you don't get to be on Revenge of the Dreamers lightly, okay? So, you know, it's like that. You know, so there's something here about you guys being very talented, and you're doing it your own way. Like, you're doing it your own way, okay? Dreezy's also very she's also very short. So for some of you guys, it might even be like your stature. If you're more petite, it could be that you are, like, I'm hearing like powerful. So like Dreezy is very tiny, but she's very powerful. So it could be like you guys are small but powerful, like in physical stature, but your energy is very, like, you know, major. Like, you have big energy. So that could also be what's coming through. So it could be your physical stature too. Okay, some of you guys, it could literally be that you're petite. You have Pisces, which is interesting because Dreezy's a true Pisces, and she's in Aries and Western, but sidereal, she's a true Pisces. And I was going to mention that too, because in order for her to write like that imaginative quality, so some of you guys have really strong imaginative abilities. Like, you're very good at creating things. Yeah, there's something, I just got like J.K. Rowling. So you guys are very mystical. Okay, like, you guys can come up with concepts that no one else has. Like, you're very creative. Like, you know, being able to, like Lady Gaga and Mariah, they writing songs in like 2 minutes, and they go wind up being like Billboard 100s for like 30 years. Like, yeah, I wrote this on the way to the shower, you know. All true Pisces, by the way, imaginative as fuck. Like, really, really good with creating things out of nowhere. So a lot of you guys have this great storytelling ability, or this great imagination that breaks the mold. Okay, like, breaks records. Even Lil Nas X, true Pisces, another one. You know, I don't know if he writes all his stuff, but I know he has a really big part in his music creation, and they do charts, they do numbers. So you guys, in like, even J.K. Rowling, she's not a true Pisces, she's a true Cancer, but she also created a whole world that is still surpassing and doing numbers. So there's something here about you guys having this very, I don't want to say y'all are small. You may not be physically small, but there's something about you that's just like really big in comparison to, like, I don't want to say what you should be, but yeah, like, most people would have saw Mariah Carey as just like this ditzy blonde, you know, bimbo, but she's like Mariah Carey, you know what I'm saying? She's like not. You know, some people see Lil Nas X as just a little troublesome kid that likes to start problems, but he's also a chart breaker. He also, you know, in my opinion, is actually very mature in a lot of ways. I know he's very immature. He's a child, but I see in a lot of ways where he's most likely going to go the distance in the industry because you can tell he understands what's going on. Just put it that way. So there's that type of energy. Like, there's something about your physical stature or your beauty, or you don't typically, people wouldn't typically think that you're as deep as you are, but you are. And this is like not just, oh, well, they're deep. No, this is the deep that puts you in places or gets you these things that people would probably never think that you could have. So there's a very big wow quality with you. Very big wow quality that people fall in love with, and it breaks their mindset about a lot of things too. So you guys are like a tower moment to people as well. So it's like you guys break people's perceptions of what can be. Like they no longer believe in, well, if this is like this, then this is like this. Like you break that I don't want to say black and white thing, but kind of in a way. Or being able to stereotype someone. Yeah. Like I'm saying, King of Swords. Big energy. When I walk in, sit up straight. I don't give a fuck if I was late. It's like, it reminds me of Janae Ikeo, whatever her name is. True Pisces too. And I know that people think Janae is all nice and ditzy and like, but I can imagine she's born a dragon year, so I already know like she has that strong side to her. I know when she sits in these meetings and she has these, that's when her business side comes out, and people would probably say, I never would have thought she was like that. I would have thought that she was all like sage sticks and incense, and like Janae's like, no, I already feel like she has a business side to her. I can see that. That's kind of like how it is with y'all. People probably think y'all are maybe all sage and incense or kumbaya hippies, but y'all, when y'all get into that board meeting, when you get into that business meeting, when you come into that work environment, you're respected. People shut up and listen to what you have to say. So again, like Mariah Carey, people think Mariah Carey's, no, don't play with her. When she walks in, you gonna sit the fuck up straight. Period. Like I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think or how you thought I got here or whatever. It's like yeah, you break a mold in a way. Like people think that they know you from the way you look. They have you pegged. Yeah. Queen of Pentacles, really good with business. So it's your go-getter mentality is how you handle your business too that people love. You do have like, it reminds me of like a Reese Witherspoon too. I don't know why I just got her in my head. But like Legally Blonde, that's probably why. Like, what's it like, Hard? It's like, yeah. It's like people probably think you're like Elle Woods, but it's Elle Woods. You know what I'm saying? Queen of Swords, yeah. You see all these queens, kings, communicators, but there's something about business too. Some of you guys are leaders, or you run your company, or you have a very powerful position at work. So it's like, yeah, like some of you guys, I'm getting that some of you guys might wear like really, really eccentric clothes. Like you might wear purples and yellows. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting like Miss Frizzle, like you're eccentric. But then you're like, oh yeah, I'm the head of space and engineering at NASA or something. It's something like that. It's like you say, like people expect you to not be the chief coordinator at Apple or something. You know what I'm saying? But you come out with these credentials and are like, oh, okay, I didn't think that the senior director of da 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 would look like this. I'm like, yeah, well, I've been doing that for about 5 years now. You know what I'm saying? It's something very casual. Like you check people, or like you could be a doctor or something, and people, they don't believe you have these credentials, but you're like, no, I have a degree in this and with it this and a PhD in this and this. It's something like that. Yeah, you do it your own way. And some of you guys, you could come from like a family of lawyers or doctors, but you did it differently than everyone else in your family, or you're different from everyone else in your family. Like people might be right-handed and you're left-handed. So you might paint on the weekends or do strip tease on the weekend, but then you also do your lawyer and whatever business. It's something about you doing things your own way. And there's something about people thinking that you can't be this if you're this, and you shatter that, and that's what makes people fall in love with you. So I would definitely, I don't need to tell this pile not to change, because you're like a Trojan horse. You're a Trojan horse. You're a Trojan horse in a good way. Like your looks and the fact that people think things are going to be easy gets you into a lot of places. Oh yeah, let's hire her because she's going to be easy to deal with. She's not going to be a ball buster. She's not going to be a warden. And then you're like, that paper was supposed to be on my desk at 5:30. It's 5:45. And they're like, oh, you really care about that? Yeah, I care about that, actually. Make sure it doesn't happen again. And they're like, okay, that's it. You're smiling and everything. Like, yeah, you're like one of those people. Like a Trojan horse. And it also, yeah, it's like that. It's like that. You might even get questioned sometime while you're somewhere. Like people might even question like, or may mistake you for something else. And this would probably be annoying. Like people might mistake you for the secretary, but you run the building. or something like that, just based off of the way that you're dressed. Because you don't maybe dress in these like basic ass colors. Like everybody's wearing a regular black and navy suit, and you come in like Carolina blue, or you come in with like an orange ball gown on, like Mariah Carey sitting in the fucking pool with a ball gown on. Yeah. Yep. Then she goes to her meetings probably the next day in full ball gown, making $1 million in an hour and shit. Ask about her in these streets. Yeah. There's something about your credentials. Very Piscean. Some of you guys might be Aries and Western. There's something very Piscean, or you have a Piscean placement in your chart, whether it's Western or sidereal. There's something very... But yeah, some of you guys could be Western Pisces, like a Justin Bieber. Another person that a lot of people thought was just going to be like a teeny bopper. Somebody that people didn't think was going to last the time, stand the test of time. And he's been in the game, 10 years easily or something, a decade. I think he's been around for a while. I don't know. I ain't counting, but I'm pretty sure he's been around for a long time. And he's still going to be around. So it's something about you that people perceive you to be a certain way because you have like a bubbly personality, or you're just very go with the flow on certain things. And they think that's your whole persona. Could be the car you drive. Some of you guys might drive like a fucking VW Bug or something, some hippie shit, or, something that most people don't think a CEO or somebody important would drive. Or maybe you got like a pink Mercedes or orange Mercedes, something like that. So people think like you're a rich housewife, but in reality you probably make more than your husband or something. It's something like that. It makes people fall in love. Yeah, your work, there's something about what you do for work that also like makes people fall. It's your credentials. I don't want to say that's what it is. It's the fact that you can do these things. There's something that you can do better than most people, or like it's out of this world, and people fall in love with you because of this ability that you have, this talent that you have. And also maybe the fact that you had the tenacity and the patience and the diligence to get some of these degrees or credentials that you have. And I think it's the fact that people judge you a certain way, and then you come in with all these credentials or all this power that makes them like, oh my God. So you didn't lose your sense of fun or bubbliness, and you got a PhD, or you sat through 10 years of school, or you sat through all, you know what I'm saying? Or you've been in a company for 20 years and you haven't lost your bubbly nature. You haven't lost your innocence. So that's what makes people fall in love with you. You don't take things too seriously, but you also don't let people play with you when it comes to who you are in this world. You've earned it, and you've been used to people calling you the underdog or pushing their stereotypes on you. So, yeah. 5 of Wands. Some of you guys are really good with business. I also feel like a lot of you guys have a lot of love options, but you don't get distracted by that. People also love you. I just got Princess Diana in my head. So Princess Diana, in my opinion, had her and Marilyn Monroe had the same moon placement. So both very charismatic, both very attractive energies. But Diana was more, in my opinion, obviously she was married, but y'all seen how she was when her husband cheated and she popped out in that black dress. So Diana knew that she was a baddie, okay? She knew, but she wasn't like into it like that. She knew she was a baddie, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm a baddie every 5 minutes. Like, Marilyn was like, look, baddie. In case you didn't know I was a baddie, I'll be a baddie next week. Got the Kennedy brothers both on my line. I seen them both last week. Marilyn was like baddie all day. Diana was a subtle, like she knew she was a baddie, but she was subtle about it. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't like, making that the thing, right? So I'm getting that type of energy. Like, you're a baddie, you're hot, you're sexy, but you're like, I got responsibilities and stuff like that. I can't just be out here with anybody. You know what I'm saying? So you're actually, if you're not on a relationship, you're looking for somebody who's on your level. You're not out here entertaining the groupies, but you have them. Okay, shit. Princess Diana got mad because Michael Jackson didn't do Dirty Diana while she was there. She pulled up on Michael. Go watch the interview. She pulled up on Michael. She said, "Why you not doing Dirty Diana?" He was like, I thought it was going to be disrespectful. She was mad. She was like, that's why I came. You think I came here for this shit? I came here to see you play my song, nigga. Like, that's my song. Like, Dirty Diane was like, you know who you made that song for? Stop playing. Like, that is not a song that a woman like that should be listening. But she didn't care. She was like, nigga, play my song next time. Don't let me catch you out in these streets not playing my song. So Diana knew she was a baddie. She knew. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. Yeah, you guys are hermits. Yeah, you guys possess a lot of power. Like, your manifestation abilities are off the charts. So there's something about your ability to manifest through your imagination that calls people to you. You also might have like a bombshell sex symbol type of energy to you. You might, because you have the Nine of Cups and the Devil. So you probably have some sort of a obsessive quality. Some of you guys could be like, you know, some of my sex workers, OnlyFans type of people. But you don't give a fuck about that. You do that shit from the comfort of your own home or some shit. Like, you do that so you ain't got to meet people or see people. But you might have like a sexy persona to you, or like you might have this, because it's Danishta. Their moon sign is in the Nakshatra to Danishta. If you know anything about that, that's like Meg Thee Stallion's son, I believe, is in Danishta. I'm pretty sure it is. I want to say Kim Kardashian's moon is around there too. So Danishta pulls people. It's a very sex symbol type of sign. And that some of you guys have that strong energy. Yeah, especially with the Capricorn Aquarius. If you get into like Vedic, that Nakshatra is definitely represented here. So, like, some of you guys might have, like, a sexy bombshell energy. Like, you guys make people fall in love with you. Like, it could be very one-sided. Like, you're not even interested in these people, and they're, like, really, really into you. Nine of Cups. I want to say this borderline obsession. I mean, the Nine of Cups and Devil definitely get people addicted to you, too. You got to be careful with that, because people are addicted to your manifestation of qualities, too. And you guys are the type of people that can make people believe anything that you say. So, you got to be careful with that, okay? You got to be careful with that. You got to be careful with that power that you have. Because you definitely, this can create stalkers, definitely. Like, obsession, Nine of Cups and the Devil, yeah. Definitely have like a sex symbol type of energy to you, but you don't care about it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, some of you guys could give, like, because sex work in a lot of ways, especially now that it's very digital, is very much about suggestion and making someone believe it. Like, you know, even stripping, it's like making someone believe in that, even though it's not really happening, right? Or making someone feel like they're interact. So you guys definitely have that quality of like that image that you have to, you know, portray. Very sexy. So some of you guys might be like great models, or anything that has to do with like being seen, your looks, but also your imagination qualities, and you're very good at manifesting. Like, this power, if you're not very rich or very financially stable, then you really need to tap into who you truly are, because you guys are very powerful. All right, the signs here are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Pisces, Leo, heavy Pisces, could be Aries. All right, so you have very strong attractive qualities, like being seen. Something that you do will be respected, but people will sexualize you, or like, oh, she's so cute, but then they'll find out like, nah, I'm not cute, I'm your boss. Oh, you thought I was the help? Bitch, I'm not the secretary. I'm about to be the one doing your interview today. You're that type of person. So that's what makes people fall in love with you, pile too. Those are the qualities that make people fall in love with you. So maybe you needed to know that. All right, let's go ahead and move into pile 3. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Thank you so much for that. Your girl is on here doing y'all some services. Make sure y'all hit that like button. All right, so let's see what's going on with pile 3. Damn, I knew I should have got some more water. Ooh, I'm going to bed after this. All right, so red jasper, what makes people fall in love with you? I am beginning to understand, said the little prince. There is a flower, I think she has tamed me. Bonds and ties we have to others, the ties that bind us. Some of you pile 3 are femme fatales, or people perceive you that way, whether you are that or not. Like, I get that projected on me a lot. I'm not, but if the shoe fits, right? So some of you guys could be femme fatales, because I feel like there's an energy, if you're a woman. I don't, the male version of that is Casanova. So some of you guys could be Casanovas, okay? So it's like, people think that they're players, or that they're hard or cold, and then they meet you. And it's like, you ain't seen nothing yet. Like, oh, you thought you was a heartbreaker? Honey, I broke another heart today. And I didn't care, I just walked away. Because they think I love them, but I love them all. So pile 3, you guys are like femme fatale. Even if you don't think you are, people see you this way. People see you, I wanted to say man eaters at the beginning. I know I was a nymph a couple lifetimes. I already know I was a river nymph, so that ain't nothing to me. Here ain't nothing new. So something is like man eater about you. Okay. Jean Grey, versatility. So, versatile. Some of you guys might be attracted to both genders. It's not gonna be for everybody, obviously, but some of you guys attract men and women. That also, you know, makes people love and fall in love with you. Some of you guys have tattoos too, so they love your tattoos. Yeah, I was seeing tattoos in the beginning card, so some of you guys could be your tattoos as well. But yeah, even if you're not attracted to both genders, you could be attracting both genders, even if you're not attracted to both genders. Okay, so that could also happen too. Yeah, I was a river nymph a couple lifetimes. I already know. We have the Sagittarius card. So yeah, definitely free. Can't be tied down. Ain't gonna tie me down. So there's something about you that can't be tamed, that tames others. Because I literally had this energy here of like this person in this card is saying that you tamed them. And I feel like you're not even meaning to tame them. I just think that, yeah, you meet a lot of people. What does she say? Oh my God. Oh, when Meg says thinking he a player, but thinking he a player, he a member on the team. Thinking he a player, he a member on the team. Like, yes. That's what people think that they're playing you, but they're just literally a member on your team. Like, well, you're like, well, if it didn't work out with that one, there was this guy that really wanted to take me out 2 weeks ago. I guess I'll just hit him up and see how he's doing. Like, you guys are not, like, bent out of shape. If it didn't work out with that one, then that ain't the one. There's something like that with you. Oh, it's giving my pal. All right, well, I don't know. Let's see. We have the Fool. Y'all just can't be tied down. There's something about y'all that's just like it can't be tied down, and people be thinking they're free until they meet you. Like there's something here about you not like I'm here on to the next on to the next one. So that's why Jay-Z. Somebody bring me back some money, please. Yeah, niggas want my old shit. Buy my old album. You're not even who you were last year. How I'm gonna keep the same person, keep doing the same thing, so you guys will move on too. That people sense this about you. People sense that you do not get attached to things for long periods of time unless it's exciting or fun. I hate to see that, but it's like, I hate to say it because I know it sounds negative, but I'm not meaning in a negative way. I mean, like, you guys are not meant to, like, you guys don't feel the need to stay tied to something for very long if it doesn't excite you. You guys very much follow your passions. And you will stay in a long-term relationship as long as that person puts the effort in to keep things, you know, exciting. And not saying you have to go to the Grand Canyon every day. I'm saying, but like, yeah, maybe you guys do go somewhere. You have somewhere to look forward to. There's always something being planned. Or, yeah, you guys have like a very childlike nature to you. Very Sagittarian type of nature to you where you like to travel. Like me, I have Moon in the 9th house. Very Sagittarian. Like I have Saturn in Sag. I have a lot of strong Sag energy. So it's like needing to travel, needing to explore, very smart. People think you're very smart, very knowledgeable. They learn a lot from you too. Like, yeah. So people feel like they're meant to learn from you too. Like, you may leave people's lives suddenly, in fact. There one day and gone the next. But they feel like the time that you are in their life, they learn a lot from you, because the Sagittarius is a very wise teacher. He's the guru of the gods. So a lot of you guys might be like astrologers, or you translate some sort of spiritual knowledge to people. Could be a tarot reader, spiritualist, whatever. But you don't get tied down to people. There's something very much like not getting tied down with the Fool. Some of you guys really like to travel too. People love that you like to travel, that you're always doing new things, that you're always down to find new things. Some of you guys might like nature, and people love that about you, or you like hiking. There's something about not being in the city. Like, some of you guys don't mind the city, but you see how the city is behind her and she's out in the, like, so some of you guys just beat to your own drum. Something very eccentric or very whimsical about you. The Six of Swords, it's like you're always moving on. People feel like you're always moving on to the next thing. Like, on to the next one. Even if, like, even in career, like, you're always on to better. Because the Six of Swords represents moving on to better things. So it's like you're always on to the next best thing. And not in a fickle way, but the next best thing that's for you. So if this thing is no longer good for me, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to stay there, because I have seen time and time again, when it's time for me to transform, I do that. So I'm getting like butterfly energy. Okay? Or Beth had said the snake, shedding the skin, constantly moving on to better. Leveling up too. It's not, and this is a thing, like, it's not like when you make these moves, you make moves to regress or to get worse. You're actually making moves to get to the next best thing. Like, when you start to see resistance or difficulty or negativity, you're like, oh, that means it's time for me to go. And it's not even a bad thing. This is something that a lot of people need to master. And I feel like you guys might actually teach people how to move on from things. So you guys might have heavy Oya energy, heavy 8th house energy, heavy endings and beginnings energy. Literally, this is my Saturn. This is literally, I just picked this up. Saturn in the 8th house. That's literally what I have. Okay, so some of you guys might have something similar to that, which means that you're always going to be dealing with endings and beginnings and changes. Death, that type of thing, okay? Like I said, I got the Persephone energy. I got the hell, and then I got spring. And spring is also talking about renewals and rebirths, okay? We have the Chariot, always on go, period. Y'all know how I feel about the Chariot. This is one of my birth cards. I fucks with the Chariot heavy, okay? So, yeah, very big on moving. Cardinal, very cardinal. Bossy, too. Something about you very bossy. You're always in that steamy, it's like instigative energy. You also instigate change in people. So you guys make people feel okay with taking risk. That's what people fall in love with you. Like, they feel comfortable taking risk in their own life because they've seen you do it. And they see how effortlessly you do it. Yeah, I just noticed the wand here. So some of you guys truly believe in your power. You truly believe in your power to manifest what it is that you want. And sometimes you guys might even take leaps of faith before you can even see the finished project. But you just know it's going to work out for you. Okay? Yeah. The 9 of Swords. Yeah, y'all be leaving people. Why y'all be leaving people? It's so funny. I hate to say it like this because it sounds crazy. But I don't want to say that people love you because you leave, but it almost is like that. I don't want to say people love you because you leave. I'll say people don't realize how much they love you until you leave. Like, I don't think people really realize how much you affect their life until you're gone. The 9 of Swords. Like, I don't think people really, and I feel like that is your purpose in a lot of people's lives. And people be thinking I'm saying this when I be like, trying to be funny, but I be telling people, like, a lot of times my purpose in people's lives is to leave them, to make them realize that not everybody's going to put up with your shit, or that there are very remarkable people that you're going to meet, and you can either treat them correctly or you can leave. Yes, like a catalyst. That's what I feel like you guys are, like, in a lot of ways. That, especially with the Fool card, it's very much like pile 1, but like, you know, the Tower energy, Ace of Swords. So there's definitely some very like catalytic energy here. Definitely like this energy of people not really knowing how much you affect them until you're gone. And I think that's your purpose in a lot of ways, is to kind of wake people up. Which to me, there might be, what's up, Stacy? There might be a reason why you leave people's lives, something that they're doing, because it feels like with the Five of Swords. So it could be some sort of self-sabotaging behavior that you show people. So you guys might be people who are very okay with change because you're meant to be someone who is not connected for a long time to places, people, things, jobs. You guys may seem like you're always changing jobs. You're always like you can't keep a job. It seems like you're always going to a new job. It's because you're meant to affect those people there for a certain amount of time. People don't forget you. Like, people don't forget you. Like, there are probably people that you worked with at some point, or like people from your past who still follow you on Facebook and stuff like that. Like, people you connected with. Those are people even that you're meant to affect their lives. So there's something about God putting you in certain places, and you may think it's you choosing to do that, but I feel like for a lot of you, there's a catalyst. There's something about you leaving or being in a place for a time, teaching what you're meant to teach, and then leaving. And it affects people more than they know. And people miss you when you're gone. People search for you when you're gone. They may also look for the same qualities. You'll maybe notice that your exes date people very similar to you, because it's very traumatizing when you leave people. And I don't mean it in a negative way, but in a way that sometimes, I don't want to say trauma is ever good. I don't mean like, but I mean traumatizing in a way like they'll never forget it. More so like eye-opening, because it's like they needed to realize, sometimes it's like with a child, sometimes you have to go to certain extreme measures for them to get it. Like, you don't want your child to burn your hand on something, but they keep touching the stove. So maybe you're like, maybe I need to let them see what's going to happen. Maybe I need to let them see so they can understand. Of course, I'm not going to let them really hurt themselves, but maybe I need to let them tap it and see. And you'll know. A lot of y'all like, no, I would never do that to my child. Well, you probably don't have children yet. And if you do, I mean, fine. They're probably going to burn themselves one way or the other. I bet you they ass don't touch a stove. So whether they found it out while you was around or not, they figured it out. Because is your child just sitting there with their hand on the stove with the pilot on? No. Because they found out some way, shape, or form, whether you was there or not, that shit is hot. So it's like that. It's like experience is one of the best teachers sometimes. Not all the time, but a lot of times. For me as a mother, I've learned. And that's one thing I learned from my mother, because I saw my mother transition in from being a mother of children to a mother of adults. And I kind of actually helped her through it, believe it or not. Like, I never went through it, but I kind of had to let her know, like, you got to let go now, Mom. You got to let us go. You have to let us be adults. We're not always going to be the children that you raised us to be. We're not. We're going to be our own people. So sometimes you have to let people experience things. So you could tell this person that you leave people in the beginning. You could tell them, yeah, like, most of my relationships only last this amount of time. You probably tell people this. But I don't think they really get it till you're gone. And I feel like you're meant to be this effective in their life. Yeah, you guys already know. Big gang. You already know. I think this pile got the most major arcanas, but don't quote me. But you guys already know this. You already know this. You probably tell people, like, look, you probably need something. I'm here for this. You can probably maybe identify already after getting to know somebody for a little bit why you're in their life, what you're about to teach them. And you're probably telling them, like, look, bro, this is going to happen. Because you've been through this before. You're a healer. You know you're a healer. High priestess. You know it. Some of you guys read tarot or something. Like I said, spiritualist, pal. Yeah, some of you guys might even change people's minds about spirituality. You guys could introduce people into spiritual concepts. Like, you guys might create astrologers. You could literally do this for work and in your relationships. Like, people that are in love with you could also be like clients. Not like, I don't say, maybe some of them are romantically in love, but I mean like enchanted by you because you're a healer. So some of this love doesn't have to be romantic is what I'm saying. Some people could literally see you as like their spiritual auntie or their spiritual cousin, their spiritual sister, spiritual brother. Like, there's some people who really love you because of the change that you did on their lives. And some of you even like, When certain clients may try to distance themselves from you for whatever reason, maybe you told them something that they didn't want to hear, they feel drawn back to you sometimes. And then some of you guys might have people who constantly need you all the time, because it's like when they are on their own, they look to you as a light. This can be very exhausting. And I see why you guys are supposed to be in the energy of not holding on to people or things, because it can get dark. And if you let it, you can get dragged down into it. But you guys already know what's up. You already know why people fall in love with you. And a lot of you guys, you look really good, because it's like you're hard to resist to people. Like, I hate to say this, but a lot of you guys, you look so good because it makes the sting of when you walk away feel even worse. I know that sounds very vain, but it's the truth, you know? It's like if you, I don't know, let's see, who is I'll just use a very beautiful woman, like a Megan Fox. If you lose a Megan Fox, not saying that she's all that amazing, she's beautiful, right? Or, I don't know, a fucking Chris Hemsworth. I don't know why. I was just watching a lot of Marvel stuff today. Just let me go with it. You know, something like that. It's going to matter versus, or Denzel, or whoever your type of person is, whoever you like. You know what I mean? There's something about you that's like aesthetically pleasing as well, because you're very alluring, but also it's like, you know, it makes the sting a little bit worse. Like, damn, you lost a baddie, bro. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the way that came out, but whatever. I don't care. 3 of Cups. People love that you, again, you don't get bogged down. Like, you don't get bogged down. You don't get bogged down by, like, life or people. You will, like, look to your friends. Some of you guys are pretty successful, too. People love the way you dress, too. Some of you guys might have a really nice specific way of dressing that's really tailored to your body type, like you know how to dress. But I also feel like I'm hearing, I got my 3 best friends and we doing get me body. So like you guys will turn to your friends. Like you're not, yeah, you're very independent. You're looking for your soulmate. And in the meantime, you're not getting tied down to people. Like, I'm not saying that you don't love people, but a lot of you, if you're watching this pile by this time, you already know this dynamic in your love life. You already are aware of it, because the cards are speaking to you like you already know this about yourself. They're not telling you something that you don't know. Maybe some of you guys don't know this, and I'm confirming it, but I'd be very surprised with the High Priestess and the Fool card. You're old enough, most likely, in this pile to have noticed the pattern, okay? So again, you're not taking things personally. The 5 of Swords, I'm telling you, you move on. What did I say? I said, because the 6 of Swords is moving on from that 5 of Swords. Chariot, 5 of Swords. So you guys will move on from something. If you start feeling them resistance, you start seeing this person self-sabotage, you start seeing them trying to hurt you, but they really only hurt themselves, or you start seeing them play the mind games, you move on from it with the quickness, with the Chariot, the 5 of Swords. Your job, if they start giving you a hard time, the place you live, if you start to be unhappy, you'll leave the situation. This is what people love about you. You also don't, like, if you take clients or you deal with people, you don't deal with the self-pity shit. Like, you tell them what's up. You help people get out of that victim mentality. This happened to me. No, you're like, well, what can you do next time to make sure that this doesn't happen? You help people take ownership in the stuff that they're doing, either by telling them and leading them, or you leave them. It's one of those 2 things. If you don't want to see it for yourself, I'm not going to be around so you can blame me. I'm seeing that you need to see it for yourself, because because being around you is not getting it. You're not getting it. And it's the way that you depart peacefully. For a lot of you, you don't make a lot of noise when you leave. You really just quietly close the door. Like, I'm not going to argue with you about it anymore. I'm not going to bust your tires out. Maybe some of you guys were like that when you were older. Like I said, this is more mature pile, who's aware that you are a wise woman or a wise man. You're mature, that you know enough that you're a priestess or priest. You know you have a spiritual path. You're not just anybody out here. So you've probably matured from that. Anything that feels like it wants to take you back to your old self, you hop away from it. So that's like, I'm not saying that you don't have your toxic qualities, but the way that you depart from the relationship is like, it makes people really look at, like, the fact that they were the problem. It's not like you just, some of you guys might even tell people you're done. Like, a lot of you get to the point where you just go quiet, or you just don't say, it's not even so much ghosting, but maybe you do something, say something, and just leave. It could be like that. Some of you guys might just, you know, if you feel like you told somebody something enough, you don't feel like talking anymore. High Priestess and the Fool. So, I know this sounds crazy, but it's like, I know this sounds crazy, like, how is this why people love me? But this is why. And you, maybe some of you need to know that. And this could even be family members. Like me and my sister, I love her. I love her to death. You love watching, sis, I love her. But we've had times where I had to leave her ass where the fuck she was at. And, you know, I feel like she's had some deep introspection moments in that, because she loves me and she misses me when I'm not around. And I love and miss her too. You know, but sometimes I just be having to, like, let her see, like, bro, I love you to death, but I will not fuck with you if you do X, Y, and Z. I promise you, I will not. I will leave, period. I don't care if you're a family, friend, my mom, anybody. I love all people to death. I'm not saying I'm perfect at all. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if I feel like something is toxic enough where it's not changing or it's causing me issues and I don't feel like the person is trying to change it or whatever, then I leave. And the thing is, the reason why for a lot of you this is going to be confirmed for you is because people will tell you that at a later time, especially if it's family, like, or if it's somebody who's real. They'll tell me, like, you know what, yeah, I did have that problem, you were right. Like, you might hear that from people a lot. Like, you might hear from people like, you know what, you said X, Y, and Z, and I didn't want to hear it at the time, but now that we've been apart, or I've, you know, I've had time to think about it, you were right about X, Y, and Z. And you're meant to be right. So if that triggers people, I'm sorry. But the High Priestess, I mean, you know what you're here to do. You're meant to trigger certain things in people, or show them certain things, reflect certain things. And your last card is the Ten of Cups. So people also see you as somebody they can have a family with. They can have a life with. They see you as very good with children, animals. You also are a great homemaker. So yeah, like, I'm not saying that y'all are perfect at all, Pot 3. Everybody has their shit. But with the Ten of Cups, you guys are like that, I don't want to say that perfect spouse, but yeah, like, not in the perfect traditional way, but in the way that I will accept you any way you are. Like, you're very accepting of people, because this is like the modern family, you know, it's like the rainbow. So you guys will accept, you're very accepting of people, but you won't tolerate toxicity. So it's like, I don't want to say you're accommodating, but you are not in a weak way, like, you just allow people to do anything. That would negate the whole reading. And the lights just flicker when I said that. That would negate everything I just said, because I clearly said y'all leave when shit is not right. But I'm saying, like, you don't judge people. People feel like very much themselves. Like, you've accepted them for who they were. They saw happiness with you. They saw what they could have with you. You're very compatible with a lot of people that you connect with. So this tells me that you guys are very different, very well-rounded, very cultured with the Sagittarian energy. Maybe you've dealt with different backgrounds, races, different sexes, genders, whatever. Like, there's something very, like I said, worldly about you with the Sagittarian energy, accepting of a lot of different things, different cultures, different backgrounds, whatever. So I feel like you are compatible. Like, you could have had long-term relationships with a few people that you were with. It wasn't far-fetched. But it was just if they were willing to heal or not. That's just what it was. I can show you how to heal. I can show you what you need to heal, but I can't make you do the work. And so if the person's not willing to do the work, it's sad, but you're going to leave. And I feel like this is going to keep happening until you run into the right person, Pile 3, if you haven't already, with the Ten of Cups. You're going to run into you do have a soulmate. For some of you, you need to know that, because you're wondering, okay, well, when am I going to stop healing people? If you're asking that question, then you don't really know why you're who you are and why your energy is like this, because you know that there's a contract here. You're who you're supposed to be, and this is what, like, some of you guys might have Venus opposite Saturn or something, or you have your Venus is placed in a very hard position, because there's something here about you learning lessons through love and the people that you're connecting with. Like, I have Venus opposite Saturn in my chart, so I already know my love life I ain't about to say, oh yeah, I haven't have a great love life with Venus opposite Saturn. No, definitely not. So I already know what's up. If I already look at my Venus and I already see it's in some weird ass position, or some, you know, I look at a chart and I see Venus retrograde, I'm gonna be like, bro, yeah, your love life is gonna be a little bit difficult. Okay, so some of you guys have already had that realization, but I will say there is a relationship. Some of you guys might already know this person, so just letting you know. But the signs I see are Aquarius, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Gemini, Leo. I wanted to say Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. I don't know if I said Aquarius. Yeah, I think I did. Aries too. Gemini. All right, so that's what I have for you guys. That's why people fall in love with you, because you don't get, you're just a force. You're a very gentle force, very kind force to have around, very Cancerian, but also very Sagittarian and Aquarian at the same time. You ain't no punk. You have no problem with change, but you also do like domestic harmony. So you're really good probably with cooking and, you know, domestic stuff. You would make a great partner, but you're also like a kind of a hippie, eccentric, nomadic type of person that's also into probably like spiritual stuff. So it almost reminds me of Erykah Badu. Yes, it reminds me of, yeah. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Erykah Badu. And she's had those significant relationships that everybody talks about, you know, Andre and DOC and Jay Electronica, you know, that type of thing. Common. So everybody talks about how Erykah changes men, and she's like, I don't change them. I just let them, I make them realize who they really are, or I allow them to be who they really are. That's you. You're Erykah. Big Erykah energy. All right, so I hope that this makes sense. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Please comment after the live is posted, even if you watched it. It really helps when you guys comment and like it within the first hour of watching the video, okay? Please do so, all right? I hope you guys enjoyed these. Let me know if you guys did enjoy them by liking the video and commenting, and I will do more, okay? So if you don't like it, just keep it to yourself. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.